Forrest and I are going on a date today. Forrest and I are going on a date today. His nanny needed to take today off because of the World Cup. So we are going on a date. So I had to take today off because I don't like just finding new random nannies. So we're going to the planetarium. First, I'm gonna get some coffee. This is what I'm wearing. So, me and Forrest are very lucky because the science center in the planetarium is only 5 minutes away from our house. So, my son has a membership at the science center, and when it's really, really hot, his nanny can take him to the science center for the day. And it's like one annual fee, and after that you could just go an unlimited amount of times. But if you don't have a membership, then every entrance per adult is $31, and for a child is $30. So yeah, it's just a really cute hack to get a museum membership if you have a kid. And there's all types of perks to your kid regularly visiting the museum. And because it's the summer, my son goes to the museum like maybe 3 times a week minimum. So yeah. Now I'm about to get some coffee. So I got my coffee. Haven't even taken a sip yet. I love that place, except I never know if I should get an Americano or a cold brew. I went with the cold brew today, and it's a little bitter. I don't know what makes cold brews very bitter, but this cold brew is very bitter. Anyways, ew, it's all kind of nasty. Jesus. Anyways, I typically have my son come here for his first week window. He absolutely needs at least one nap a day to be his jolly self. So we're only gonna be here for like maybe 2 hours. And then we'll go home for nap time. It's really good to get your kids out of the house and take them to do fun things with other kids. It helps socializing. I'll show you guys some footage from this little adventure shortly here. And then give you some thoughts after we finish up. the Science Center. Whew, man, it's really important to stay active so that you can keep up with your kids. I think he had a great time, but towards the end he got fussy. He started wanting to take the toys from the exhibits. So that's how I know he's tired. So now we're gonna go home and get some lunch. And I'm gonna probably do a little work when he takes his nap today. So it was a successful day at the museum. Having a kid has completely altered my brain. I thought about when I wanted to start a YouTube channel before having a kid. I feel like I always had so much to say, and I always was thinking so much about 1,000 different things. And it was almost too much, to the point where I actually could never execute properly. So I was just stuck in this loop of getting a whole bunch of great ideas and not being able to do anything with them, really. But since having a son, it's really quieted my mind. Now it's crazy because when you have a kid, you're like, oh my God, you must be so exhausted. But it depends on if you're hyperactive before you have a kid. I was a hyperactive person. I was an athlete, and I was like constantly doing things, and I still am now. But I will say, even with all the things that I was doing, I was never truly tired. So there was an anxiety that I still carried even in my most fatigued state that made it really hard to focus on one thing at a time. So I do think some people actually do better with kids, and some people don't need kids, just like some people medicate and some people don't. I mean, I guess I could have medicated, but that's a whole nother story I don't want to get into. But basically my son turned into my medication, and now I'm able to really quiet my thoughts and my anxieties and my fears enough to just do things without overthinking it. I'm really grateful about that. And I just wanted to mention that in case anyone else out there might need to hear it, that if you have like a lot of excess energy and anxiety that's making it really hard to focus on one thing at a time and execute on your ideas, I think the main thing that's really important is really getting yourself tired. I worked out like crazy before I had a kid, and it was so important for me to just do my day-to-day tasks and function at work because of how much energy I had. And I'm sure there's like a little bit of childhood trauma in there too that comes from like just constantly feeling like you need to be ready for the next thing, and you're always getting ready, so you're never like able to do because you're just like, what's the next thing? And yeah, if you're like that, just find a way to keep yourself a little bit tired, and in that tired state you might be able to be relaxed enough to just focus on one thing and just be able to get that one thing done that you've been saying you want to get done. And for me, having kids has just amplified my ability to execute. You would think it would amplify fear, but it didn't. I guess it depends on what I or you are afraid of. And that is also a much deeper trauma. But yeah, my son soothed my fears.